everyone, and welcome back to Waverly Reads, and welcome back to another monthly review. If you didn't know, I do a review every month, at least I try to. It is a New Year's resolution of mine, and for the past 3 months I have succeeded, and if you're watching this, that means I've done a fourth. So this month's review is going to be on Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, or Zappia. Really not sure how to pronounce it. I wrote up some notes late last night and I'm gonna go through my thoughts and feelings, but first, the plot. Eliza and Her Monsters is about this girl named Eliza Merck who has set up this online profile called Lady Constellation, and she draws / writes these comic books that she posts online, a few pages every single week under the alias of Lady Constellation, and nobody knows the real person behind it. So she keeps her personal life and her online life completely separate and has another account called Merca Lurker where she interacts with some people on the webpage that has been created as a fan base for her comic. Comic went viral and everyone started reading it and everyone knows about it, and a lot of people are really big fans of it and post fan art and whatever. Then probably one of the biggest fans and probably most famous fan art creator called Rainmaker actually moves to Eliza's school and interacts with her, having no idea that she is actually Lady Constellation and he just knows her as Eliza. Then one day her identity is secretly revealed and all hell breaks loose and Eliza kind of has to deal with the fame. I don't know if I gave that much justice. I'm not that great at describing a book's plot, but let's get into my thoughts and feelings, spoiler free style. So the first thing I noticed for this book is that I read it really quickly because it's such a very easy read. It gripped me right in the beginning. I did a try a chapter challenge. I did a video on it and it will be linked in the description. It was my last week's video and this is the book that I picked out of that. So obviously it gripped me very quickly in the beginning and made me want to read it over the other books that were in competition. I honestly didn't hate any of the characters, but I don't think you're supposed to because they're all friends or family members and stuff like that. There is one character where you should probably be a bit iffy on, but even then it's not that bad of a character and he's only in it for like 3 pages. That being said though, the plot was kind of really predictable. Obviously boy meets girl, girl falls in love with boy, boy falls in love with girl, shit happens, they break up and then they end up back together. You know, that typical contemporary plot that is probably way overdone by this point. However, it's a contemporary book that I like and I don't like that many contemporaries, so this one must be a good one, at least for me. The illustrations in this book are so gorgeous and I believe they're actually done by Francesca herself. There's still a bookmark in this. It says the jacket illustration is by Francesca Zappia, so I'm guessing that the internal illustrations in this are also, they are absolutely stunning. Let me find my favourite one. I really enjoyed this one, which is on page 27. But this one, which I don't want to show too much of because it's the last page. Just the illustrations in this are really nice and I'd actually like to see the comic that Eliza's character comes up with. Without going too much into it because it is kind of spoilery, I do want to give a quick trigger warning on suicide or suicidal thoughts and depression, because this book takes a really dark turn towards the end and it shocked the hell out of me. It's not the type of thing you find in a fluffy contemporary like this. It was kind of terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of sad to admit that I actually related to a lot of it. It also shows a side to fame that we as fans don't get to see, as in we should probably respect celebrities' privacies and boundaries and, you know, just leave them be a little bit. It definitely talks about, like, you know, the negative side to becoming famous. It is a super fun read with some kind of dark aspects, which is a bit like me. Like, I'm super fun and super bubbly, but kind of dark. Depression and anxiety are a thing. The ending, I'm not too sure how I feel about. Like, after the whole dark twist happens, I'm not really sure how I feel about the way that this book ended. Changed her mind without any explanation. Like, 1 second she was dead set on not continuing with something, and then the next chapter she'd already done it, and like I feel like there's a bit missing in between that where she needs to like change her mind, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So that's the only bit I feel like this book is slacking, just that little explanation between like her deciding not to do it and then her suddenly just having done it. Like, all in all, this book is an amazing read. I gave it a 3.5 to 4 star rating. I really liked it. Contemporary isn't necessarily my favourite thing in the entire world. I'm more of a sci-fi dystopian that type of person, but I really enjoyed this a lot, and I see why it was hyped about so much last year. So that was my review on Eliza and her monsters. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I post a new weekly reading vlog on a Monday and a new booktube video on a Thursday. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next week.